the feeling I have tonight is one of birth for some reason. I think it's one of those moments in life that's somewhat forgotten about, and it seems to be one of the most poignant moments of all of our lives. Tonight I thought I was the third speaker, so every time it got close to number 3, my heart would just like devour itself and regurgitate madness in my head, and all the words would slip off the page. And it reminded me of different versions of birth. So there's tonight. There was, my own birth. I was born in 45 minutes. They didn't believe my mum, she was in labour. The doctor was getting his haircut and came back with half a haircut to deliver me. My mum got wrapped up in tinfoil because she was so in shock. And, just these moments of life and what goes on around them. This evening, today, we launched our festival, the lineup, the website, the content, the vision, the inspiration behind it. And that was for a festival called The Body and Soul. And I guess it's led me to look at, how did I get here? How has that been given birth to for us to be in a place where we're, launching a crazy harebrained idea to put on a festival in Ireland based around the summer solstice. And it's led me to really simple things, and I've realized that a lot of the magic in life comes from very ordinary moments, certainly in my life. What comes to mind is when I was a child in Canada. My dad was Canadian, my mum Irish, so school was in Ireland, summer was in Canada. And we would get there, and all of a sudden it was the place where we were allowed to eat bubblegum, have ice cream, wear no clothes. I would spend days on end pretending to be a fish at the bottom of the lake. And there was a real sense of freedom that came with that. It was staying up at night, toasting marshmallows on bonfires. I slept in a tent for years outside my parents' log cabin. Every summer we went there because it was my space and it was my independence, and I could be a bear in the woods and all sorts. So, and have boys in there when I got older and all sorts. So that's one. And then that kind of moved to the Ireland version of it. And it was being in Utherard, where we would spend a lot of time. And it was a place where my parents would have parties. And from the kind of humdrum of school and all that stuff that I didn't really like, we would go there, and all of a sudden there was wine, and there was pianos, and there was fiddles, and there was barons, and there was singing, and there was madness, and there was cavorting, and I loved it. I would just run around filling everybody's wine glasses and just thought this was amazing. And so there's that, and just these different dots. Like I'm looking at, well, how did I get here? Why am I doing this? Why am I giving my entire life force, certainly the majority of it, to trying to create something in Ireland that I believe can create a difference, can generate positivity, can co-create with incredible like-minded people, can invite and encourage people to step up and participate, engage, collaborate, and create something that actually can make in its own little way a sense of difference in the world. And it brought me back to being a teenager, and I remember feeling so deeply uncomfortable in myself, certainly in my 20s as well. Like I didn't really know where I fit into society. I never could find, what's my job, what am I going to do, oh my God, where do I fit into this whole world? And there was years of that feeling of lostness within me. It took leaving Ireland, it took having a wild time for a while for me to actually really connect with a moment of freedom within myself. And I think one of the highlights of that was being at a festival called the Burning Man, which is in the Nevada desert. And having come from Loughrea, County Galway, to UCC in Cork, to the Nevada desert, it was quite an experience to be thrown in a place where you were allowed to be whoever you wanted to be in your wildest imagination. It was a place where people created the most outstanding art I've ever seen in my life, and at the end of it all, burnt it. And by the time you left, everything was taken. There was no trace whatsoever, not a nail, not a splinter, not a piece of rubbish. And it was like as if I'd been part of some crazy dream that hadn't happened but had happened, and I felt changed forever. In the desert, I shook hands with one of my best friends, and I said to him, and I meant it, I'd never felt like this before, but I said, I want to do this for the rest of my life. Whatever this is, whatever this feeling is I have, I want to do this in my life. And I've realized, I guess, that that's how I have got to where I am today. And it's purely based on a vision that happened at the right time, the right place, in the right moment, with whatever was going on, that actually opened up a doorway that had me believe in our innate capacity to co-create absolute beauty on the planet, and to create something for future generations to be proud of, and something for us to celebrate. If it's one thing that we all collectively share as a race, it's our capacity to celebrate life. It's an ancient art form. It's something we should do daily. It's something I often forget, and for whatever reason, it's something I seem to have vocated my life to now. And with that thought, seeing as my time is up, I have a little poem from Dr Seuss, and it's this. It's the second half of the poem from Oh, the Places You'll Go. It's opener there in the wide open air. Out there things can happen, and frequently do, to people as brainy and footsy as you. And when things start to happen, don't worry, don't stew. Just go right along. You'll start happening too.